Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila B. Lynn. I'm coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 5, Episode 16. This episode is called Picture Perfect. I painted me a perfect picture. Anyway, you probably get that tomorrow. But, the episode picks up where it left off last week with Angela coming into Fatima's office and showing her the whole picture of Zack and Karen. As we all know, that Zack went down to Karen's shop so Karen can sign them papers about this whole child support incident. And it was just pretty different for Karen. She was being very, very nice. Very nice. It was almost like set-up-ish nice. So just so happened there was a person in the shop that was there that snapped a picture of Zack and Karen when Karen kissed Zack on the cheek. So here we are. Angela shows Fatima the picture. Fatima is like, "Oh, okay, really?" She's taken aback because she wasn't expecting that moment to happen. And Angela fishing for information. Y'all cool? Y'all good? What's going on? And you need to call Zack. You need to call him and verify what's going on. And so Fatima's whole thing is, how did you get this picture? Who was there? And why did they do this? And then, as I stated earlier, Angela said that it was a friend of hers that recognized Zack. I'm like, okay, so how was she recognizing Zack? Has she ever been around Zack before? I mean, were y'all just so happy to be talking about Zack in the past and there was a picture that you show who Zack looked like? Like, who is this woman that is recognizing Zack? How are y'all out at parties or what? You know what I'm saying? Because apparently I would think that if somebody recognized me, that person that has had to have been around me before. I'm thinking it may have been somebody Belinda knew to set up the situation for it to happen. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. How was this person able to recognize Zack? How? Where were y'all at? You know what I'm saying? Because Zack and Fatima just got together. Everybody just started to even know that Zack and Fatima dating. So how was this person that's a friend of Angela, they can just recognize that? Okay, whatever. So, and Fatima asking the questions. So is she legit? Is she cool? Is she messy? Like, what's going on? And Angela's just like, well, yeah, I mean, that's a friend of mine. And why is she sending you this picture? Well, I guess you should know this. And then, anyway, so Angela like, well, it's something that you should know. You have to figure out what's going on. Why is Zack doing this? First of all, it wasn't Zack kissing Karen. It was Karen kissing Zack. See, that's how you being messy. And then it's like anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, so Angela is saying like, okay, so maybe, it's the old picture. Fatima like, he had this on this morning, child. And, even if it was, he couldn't afford a suit like this. So yeah, this is new. And then the girl gonna talk about some, maybe it's a twin. Girl, if you don't shut up, you done been around this man long enough to know that this man ain't got no twin. But anyway, Fatima looking at her like, girl, bye. So, and then, Fatima said she just gonna wait it out. She wants Zack to come to her with it. Because you know how we do. We females, we kind of fish. How was your day, Zack? How did everything go? You see Karen? And then this is when Zack is supposed to tell what happened. Because we all know back on the episode of Fatima, they had a whole picture gate. Everybody taking pictures with people. You know what I'm saying? Then it caused this whole divide, this whole blow up. So hopefully they learn from that situation enough. Fast forward here to Sisters to where they can be open enough to talk about this situation and there won't be any blowback, So I understand where Fatima is coming from. And Fatima said she ain't got time to be, doing all this stuff. She ain't caught, ever since, she 32 years old now. She ain't really wigged out like that since, back in the day. Anyway, but Angela thing is, the longer you hold out, the longer you get mad. But she's just trying to take a new approach to the situation, which I can understand. But Zack, just go ahead and tell what happened. Don't even have Fatima even having a fish just let it come on out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But anyway, and then Angela gonna say, well, girl, you know they be having sex. Ain't nobody got time for you to be talking about people be, sleeping around back in the office. Now you're doing too much. All right, girl, don't you got somewhere to be? Don't you gotta go back upstairs and go to work? So anyway, she gets up, she gonna go to work, and Fatima just gonna try to, do what she gotta do to see what her man doing. All right. So Robin comes into Andi's office and pretty much gives her an update on, I guess the man is a loan shark. So on the loan shark that Andi recommended to Robin. And, Robin said he reached out to him, they talked, and he has to give the man 20%. And Andi looking like, yeah, 20%. And she asked when was he going to get the money. He said they already done wired the money. And Andi is like, so when are you going to tell them? And he said, he's going to have a meeting with them tomorrow, and just to see the looks on their faces to let them know that they're not taking his company. And we're talking about Hayden and Gary because they came up with a plan to try to take Robin's company from up under him, to leverage the company from up under him. And, they kind of smiling about that, feeling real good about him. But the man said he doesn't do contracts. So I'm just like, Robin, you better put some insurance on your legs, because if you ain't paying this man back this money, then what if Tyler Perry, the man that's going to loan? What if Tyler Perry is the man that's going to loan Robin the money, and Tyler Perry going to make his appearance on Sistas? Chad, that'll be so funny. But anyway. So then Robin has the nerve to say, ask Andi, can I see you tonight? And she looking at him like, and he just like, she really doesn't give him an answer. He said, well, I thought I'll try. I thought I'd shoot my shot. And they make some joke about shooting or something. I don't know, child. And then he says, is it Gary? And she was just like, well, no, I'm not even really with Gary. Gary just around, And so Robin asked Andi, do you miss me? And she was like, to be honest, no. I said, girl, you don't? All this money he done gave you? And then you still want more from him? Child. And then she said, I'm just playing. She said she do miss the time that they had or whatever. So hopefully they get to a point to where they can work that thing out, child. I don't know. And so then there's a knock on the door. She said she got to get to work. There's a knock on the door. It's Fatima. But before Robin can leave, Andi like, hey, since you shooting your shot, let me shoot my shot. Do you got any updates on Mr. Maurice Webb? And, Robin look at him like, I'll get back to you on that. And so it is what it is. Child, I know, Andi, you better work them while you can. So Sabrina comes into Andi's office and they are hugging each other. I guess they haven't seen each other in a while, the way they was hugging, child. But they were like, oh, I love you too. So they go and they sit down, right? And of course, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then she brings up Maurice. And Andi is like, I'm doing everything I can, to help Maurice. And then Sabrina kind of bombards her and was like, I spoke with him. And she was like, why did you do that? And then she said, well, he's going to call up here. And she was like, I don't really have any information for him. Like, why are you having him to call up here? And then the phone rings. Ding, 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 ding. You have a collect call from inmate Maurice Webb, And so Maurice on the phone, and Maurice got an attitude. How are you doing, Maurice? Hey, pro. Just going out. I'm in paradise. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so, we doing what all you can do. It seems like nobody's doing nothing. I'm like, oh, hey, all right. And so Sabrina coddles Maurice because I guess Sabrina knows Maurice and his antics, and she know he doesn't mean any harm, but everybody doesn't take to Maurice the way that Sabrina does and the way that Calvin does. So he came across the right one today. So he coming up, and then Andi's still trying to keep it cute. She just like, I talked to my boss, and he's going to try to see if he can get you out on bond. And he was like, bond? That's a stupid idea. He ain't got no money. And she's just like, well, I mean, that's what we have to go on right now. And they, I believe he asked how much would it be. She said, that's not, that's irrelevant right now. We just trying to see what we could do. But Maurice got this attitude. He yelling on the phone and screaming, and she had to get him together real quick and real cute and real attorney-like. She said, hold on, wait, no, hold on. And she just told him the truth. Like, look, you are Sabrina's friend. And Sabrina is the one that's trying to vouch for you. And I am Sabrina's friend. I don't have to do nothing for you. And the only reason why I'm even helping you is because Sabrina is the one that wants me to help you. Now, I'm trying to do what I can do. But you ain't finna be sitting on that. Now I'm adding this part in here. You ain't finna be sitting on this phone calling me all kind of what nots and who nots and all of this other stuff. You ain't finna do that. And then he comes all the way down. I'm sorry. Because I'm the one that got us in this. Thank you. Yeah, you better change your attitude. And then Maurice got to tell Sabrina she's right. Andi is right, because Andi ain't got to help you, Maurice. You need to calm that all the way down. You know what I'm saying? We over here trying to help you out. And then she said, well, if you can call us later, we'll see what we can work out. But right now, you're just going to have to sit in there and sit pretty and try to keep your virginity, as you say. You know what I'm saying? All right, bye. And then, they get off the phone with Maurice, and Andi had to say, well, he needs to know the truth. He is the reason why you in this mess. Because if Maurice had not been messing around with the boy, y'all wouldn't be here. And Calvin too. Don't leave out Calvin, because Calvin is the one telling me he can stay. But anyway, and then Andi had to tell Sabrina, because Sabrina, for some reason, stuff don't click all the way in her head. Because I always said she was a big bottle of confusion. She always seemed confused and lost. You know what I'm saying? So she had to tell Sabrina, do you know how much money that I had to put up to get you out? I couldn't get you out on bond. Like she told Maurice, we'll see if we can set you up with a bondsman, because the bondsman, they'll loan the money and you got to pay the bondsman back. The judge said, no, it's a cash bond, meaning she had to come with every piece of that money, because this is Fed charges. Y'all out here talking about y'all robbing banks. So I need all of that money. And it was millions, Sabrina. Million. Here, but Sabrina, oh, millions? I know it. I just checked my bank account 3 days ago, and it wasn't but $20 in there. It's millions. And she said she gave up everything that she had. And what she did have, she had to get it from Robin. I'm like, oh my God, where my friends at? Where my friends at? Can I get a friend like Andi that's a lawyer and that don't mind giving up what she got because she has so much trust and faith and love for her friend? That's a friend right there. Now I know people be hard on Andi about, the things that she doing, with her cooch and all that, but that ain't got to do with me. She grown. But when it comes down to her friends and being there, they done put Andi in rocks and hard places a lot during this fifth season. Like, Andi been coming through for her friends, and I applaud you for that. But she had to tell her too. Hey, now she told Sabrina, look, and if that judge come back and say we need another millions of a cash bond, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get Maurice out. So we hoping that he just do a regular bond and we can get him out that way. Because if he want that money up front, I ain't got another $3 million for you. Or $2 million, whatever much it was. I ain't got it. So he may have to just sit in there and hold himself up real tight, like. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Sabrina said, okay. She cried, okay. Girl, you better get some respect. Girl doing all she can, giving up all her money. And then she got to be flirting around with Robin and Gary at the same time to keep both of them monies inside of her pockets. Anyway, but child, you going to have to work that out. All right. So Hayden has to do his daily check-in, child, with Gary. And he like, yeah, I had a good night. He found the one. She was doing things to him and, all this stuff. And Gary like, oh, so you found the one in only one day. Okay, all right, whatever. And so then he brings up the fact that Robin went into Andy's office. And Gary like, what I'm worried about that for? Okay. He was just like, but you think she told him? And Gary cocky. He said, yeah. I hope she did tell him because I want him to know that it's me. I mean, he can't come up with the money. And then Hayden like, well, they called a meeting with us. And then they said, oh, yeah. But, he probably calling his meeting to let us know that he ain't got the money. Child, I can't wait to see y'all faces when he say, I got the money. Holla if you hear me. But anyway, so they was just like, okay, yeah. And then, Hayden like, yeah, don't mess with Gary, right? And then Gary's like, well, yeah, right. And then here go Hayden, don't mess with mine either. Gary like, what? What's yours? Fatima. Oh, we still on Fatima, but you just said that you found the one last night. Anyway, so he was just like, okay. And then come to find out, Hayden said he has a guy that's been following Zack. Child. Anyway, and so the guy ran across the old good of baby mama. And so now he telling Gary that he taking up the Zack to court about the whole child support thing. And Gary like, really? Really, you gonna do this? Like, why are you doing this? And Hayden just like, but we know we two peas in a pot. And Gary can't see it. I'm like, well, I mean, kind of both of y'all lie. I guess Gary said he wasn't jealous. I think that's what he said. And he was just like, but you trying to take this man whole company from him, And so they were just like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. And so then they ended up talking about they'll see each other later, whatever. But I'm just like, but both of y'all slick. Yeah, y'all two peas in a pot. Y'all like these women. But Hayden, Fatima ain't even giving you the time of the day. So I don't even understand. That I really don't. At least Andy's still, messing around with Gary, showing him something. Fatima ain't showing you nothing. But anyway, so I guess they gonna figure out when they go to the meeting tomorrow, whatever, that they ain't who they think that they really are. So that's pretty much their child. So we back over here at the Karen mastery of it all. And Pam is trying to get Karen to go ahead and go home. Apparently she done worked her half of a day. Now it's time for her to go ahead and leave. So Karen like, she ain't ready to go. And then Pam always say, I'm going to call your mama. And then while they in the midst of going back and forth, Casper, the friendly Aaron, he pops out of the blue talking about, yep, it's time for you to go. And so everybody looking like, where did you come from? Pam said, you just sure know how to pop up, child, because he the friendly ghost Casper. He just boop, boop. Anyway, so he's trying to get Karen to come on. She like, okay, she ain't really ready to go. But then he says he's going to take her out to dinner and all that stuff. Because, he always got to feed her because she got to feed that baby. Even before the baby came, he was trying to feed all the time. But anyway, so then she gives in. She's like, okay, well, let her go to her office or whatever so she can do what she gonna do. So as she goes up in her office, she goes and she calls Andi. And she tells Andi, hey, I need to come by your I guess the house later on or whatever, just to let you know that, well, she says that Zack brought over the papers for her to sign. Andi said, already? She was like, yeah. And then that's when Andi said, well, can you bring them by my house later on tonight? And then we can go over them there. And she said, okay. And so that was pretty much it. So Andi goes into Fatima's office and looking at her like, hey, you good? Have you been checking your phone? And so apparently Andi has been trying to reach out to Fatima about some work stuff, but Fatima has not been focused because of the information that she got from Angela earlier this morning, which is the picture. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, Fatima. She's very apologetic. And Andi, she sits down and she's like, well, I had talked to Karen earlier. She said that Zack came over with the papers, ready for her to sign and, review. And, Fatima's like, well, yeah, he went to go talk to his lawyer and apparently they getting everything worked out. And Andy's just like, yeah, she's going to come over later. And, you know, we're going to look over everything, get everything filled out and all that stuff. And she said, well, it looks like everybody is moving forward. And so Fatima is like, oh, yeah, moving forward. So Andi looking at Fatima like, girl, what's going on with you? She was just like, you know what? If I show you this, would you tell? And don't tell anybody. Andi like, here we go again. Oh, she was like, no, Andi, don't tell, you know, whatever. So then Fatima shows Andi the picture. So Andi looking like, oh, you know, well, clearly this is an old photo. Fatima like, girl, he had this on this morning. She was just like, oh, you know, like she just kind of stuck like, well, you know, there has to be some type of explanation to what's going on. And so Fatima says, okay, there has to be some type of explanation for what's going on. And Fatima said that she had talked to her friend, and her friend said that Karen is not the one that took the photo. And so Karen is like, well, no, she wouldn't do that. She's not that type of person because Karen doesn't play games like that. And then Fatima is like, oh, so this is a real thing. And she was just like, well, then Andi said, well, let me see the photo again. So Andi is looking at the photo and she's just like, you know, like, yeah, well, you need to talk to him, Fatima. You need to talk to him. And Fatima is just like, well, no, I don't want to talk to him. I just want him to come out and tell me. And she was like, well, y'all need to have a conversation about this because clearly you're upset about it and y'all need to talk. And Fatima's just like, well, I guess we'll have to talk about it later on today, you know, because she wants to get answers, which is fine. I mean, because Fatima wants Zack, like I said earlier, wants Zack just to come right out with it. But sometimes, yeah, I just talk about it and come to a conclusion about all of this information that's going on. You know, ain't no use in holding it. I know I said earlier, you know, just let him come. But y'all just go ahead and talk about it and get it over with. So y'all can be like, what happened, and y'all can go ahead and rectify the situation. Because I really don't want this to carry on for a long time. So while they're talking about that, Fatima, she gets ready to go, and Robin comes by Fatima's office as Fatima is leaving, and he's giving Andi the update. Yeah, you know, I spoke with the judge about Maurice, and it's the same thing. It's going to be a cash bond, $1.4 million. I said, God, dog, Maurice ain't getting out of jail. Robin said, God, dog, what did you do to this man in court, right? And like, shoot, you know, I kicked this butt real good because whatever's going on, this man ain't budging, you know. And so Robin's still trying to shoot his shot at Andi. Andi, she ain't going. She just like, you know, he like, so I burnt the bridge. It ain't about you burning no bridge. She just got to get some stuff together. He like, I'm up here helping you, all this help I'm doing. I can't get no date. Child, y'all gonna have to work that out later. Andi trying to handle this business right now. She ain't got time for this. Let this girl handle this business. But anyway, child, it is what it is. So after Robin gives the news to Andi and they had their whole conversation, Andi goes and she calls Sabrina on the phone and tells her the news about the bail. So she was just like, yeah, you know, we got a bond for Maurice. And Sabrina's like, oh yeah, but hey, hold on now. It's $1.5 million in cash. You got some money? No, the girl ain't got no money. She said she got $87,000. Did she say she had $87,000? I said, get dog. So you know how to save your money and invest good, don't you? Working being a banker. But anyway, and so you know, Andi said that ain't enough. You know, it's $1.5 million. You need a lot more money than that. So Andi said, I ain't got no money. I gave all my money to you when we tried to get you out. Do you know anybody? And she was like, and Sabrina, can Karen help? You know, Karen ain't got no money. Can. Then she said, Zack, can Zack help? Why would Zack be able to help? Because she know that Zack came and taught that money. Child, you asking to the wrong people. And then she says, I know where I can get the money. Child, I said, bye, yo. So he good for something, ain't he? So And they're like, child, do you think he'll give it to you? She said, well, she gonna call. She gonna try to figure it out. And she'll call her back later. And he said, well, let me know if you come up with it. Let me know, whatever. So they get off the phone. And then Sabrina, she calls Bio. And Bio, hello, Sabrina. It's good to see you. I would like to have dinner. Sabrina said, well, you know what? It's good to see you too. You come on over by the house. I was thinking about you. Come on over to the house. So Bio coming on over there to the house, right? All right. So that's done. So now you have this dude, Q. He's still trying to go over. Child, he's still trying to go with Danny. He's still trying to go over Danny's house. He finding out all kind of ways to get Danny. Talking about, yeah, Danny, I need a ride. I said, when did Danny get her car back? Last I heard, she done ran it over with the man that was in the van, child. So I guess Danny got a car. Okay. Yeah. And he told me, well, can you give me a ride to the train station? Danny said, the train station is literally right above here on the next floor. What you mean? He told me, well, yeah, I was just trying to see you, spend some time with you. I got some fire. Danny just like, look, Quentin, I'm not trying to see you. I'm not trying to talk to you. And pretty much, Tyler, I'm over this storyline. Can we get to the bottom of this, please? Can we please? Can we get to the bottom of this? Because this is very irritating. He keeps pursuing Danny and Danny keeps saying no. That's the gist of that conversation. All right. So then Danny calls Sabrina on the phone, right? Hey, Sabrina. So she called her on the phone. They going back and forth talking about, Maurice got bond. Oh, mind you, Andy asked Sabrina, you not going to skip town, are you? Sabrina said no. So back over here when, Danny calls Sabrina to see how everything going with her. She tells him about the bail and about his $1.5 million for Maurice. Ain't nobody got no money. So she said she gonna call Bio. Danny's just like, do you think that's a good idea? Of course we know that Bio got the money because they was, looking at his bank account that day down there at the bank. But Danny just kind of like, I understand you. I don't think you gonna run, Sabrina, but are you sure you want to bet all of that money on Q? Do you think Q will run? She said, on Maurice. Do you think Maurice will run? And she was just like, no, I don't think he'll run, because all this money, I don't think Maurice would do that. She was just like, okay, do you think that you could trust Bio? Because Danny said that she was going to end up going over Sabrina's house later on that day, but Sabrina told her that the Bio was coming over there too. And I was like, child, if Bio see Danny, you know how he was acting when he seen Danny. He was just so enamored with her looks. So anyway, so Danny like, you sure that's a good move to make? She's skeptical. She said she don't feel good about it. So Sabrina said she gonna try to see, she trying to help her friend. So at the end of the day, I guess that's what she gonna do. So now back over there at the county, the doggone lawyer, he done came down to Maurice's cell. Maurice is like, what are you here? So, the lawyer, they be listening and tapping into Maurice's calls. So it's almost like the lawyer know that Maurice is trying to make headway on him getting out of jail. So the lawyer telling Maurice, hey, it's 1.5 million to get you out. And Maurice is just like, okay. And the attorney man, he just like, I know you ain't got that money. And if you do get that money, that means you robbed that bank. Maurice said, I ain't did nothing. And then because the lawyer's still trying to get him to turn Sabrina in. And Maurice said, I'm not turning Sabrina in. I'm not doing it. And the lawyer said, and if you do get that money, if you do so happen to get that money, he said he gonna be all over Maurice. I guess like white on rice to see how he got the money. And Q said, why am I calling Maurice Q? Child, no. Maurice said, you don't know nothing. I don't know what you heard about me, but that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And Maurice told this lawyer that okay, so the lawyer said what he said, right? Whatever he said, and Maurice tried to have a comeback, but the lawyer said, I don't want to hear your comeback. So he would start, trying to walk out. And Maurice yelling, you could kiss the crack of my butt, my whole butt and all that stuff. I said, that's so funny how Maurice was really trying to get that last word, but that lawyer wasn't trying to hear it. I kind of laughed at that. But I'm like, Maurice, Just hold on tight. I think your girl might come on out for you, Sabrina. It'll be all right. So it is what it is on that. So Fatima pulls up to the house, and before she goes in the house, she called Angela, right? And so ring, hello, girl. So yeah, I'm about to get ready to go in, and have you talked to him about the picture yet? Yeah, I'm about to get ready to talk to him now. And then she said, but I thought you was gonna wait. She said, well, at first I thought about waiting, but I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to him. And here go Angela. So are you sure you want to do that now? How about I come over there? Fatima like, no, I don't want you to come over here. I'm good. And then Fatima getting mad because she thinking about it. She's sitting on it. It's starting to permeate, right? She said, and then this dude ain't called me all day. He ain't called me all day because she said it earlier to Andi when they were talking and she was getting mad. So now she really like heated. And so Angela just like, well, how about I just come over there, or we could just go out, we can have some drinks. But I'm just, anyway. And so Fatima's just like, nah, I'm finna go confront him. I'm finna go and I'm gonna talk to him about it. And so, and Fatima said, but you sure your girl legit? Like, how well do you know this girl? Like, is she legit? And then Angela tells her, I mean, well, yeah, she a friend of mine, but this her first time going to the shop. It's a hair salon. That was her first time being there, and she wasn't even in Karen's chair. Of course, we know she wasn't in Karen's chair because it's a picture of us. It's a picture from a side view picture. So anyway, so Fatima just like, So she mad. Angela's still trying to come over there because she want to talk. She want Fatima to calm down. But I'm like, but you know your friend, right? You've been on your friend for a long time. You know how she get when she get mad. So I feel like, Angela, you probably should have had a little bit more information. And then why you didn't tell her the friend name? Who the friend? Because let me talk to the friend. Because Fatima said earlier that she was going to try to do some investigation work. How you going to do some investigation work when your friend ain't even telling you who the exact friend is and all this other information? But anyway, I done went all off into something else. So Angela's still trying to come over there to where Fatima is. Fatima like, nope, I'm good. I'm about to go in here right now. I'll talk to you about it later. Okay, well, tell me about it later. All right, bye. So Fatima come in the house. This is her face. You see this face? That face been like that the whole time. Zack coming in, want to kiss on the child, lips poked out, lips ain't hit ain't hit Fatima lips or nothing. They like, dang, you all right? She said, I'm good. How was your day? My day was good. It was pretty productive, a little bit. I went down to Karen's place. I gave her the papers. She wanted to sign them, but I was like, don't sign them. Like he did something good too. Don't sign them. Andy got to look at them. Don't sign them. She was like, oh, okay. She didn't sign them. Oh, okay. And then she said, when I called Heather over and over and over again, she did not answer the phone. She did. And so Fatima just looking at him just like that. Well, dang, where my love at? My love, my hugs, my kisses, where they at? She said they where they always at. I said, girl, where they always at? Anyway, so wow. He talking about her hugs and her kisses and all that stuff where they always at. So then Fatima, she pulls out her phone and it's like, dun, 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 dun. What is this? And then Tyler Perry Sistas. And then they show the previews and all that stuff for next week. Child, we know this was a setup. The point is, who is the friend? Who is the friend? You know what I'm saying? Who is this friend? And child. Anyway, so we gonna figure it out, y'all. This is Sheila Bila. Y'all like come in and subscribe, and y'all have a great day. I know I probably forgot a lot of stuff. Charge to my head and my heart and Jesus loves y'all, and bye.